go to like if we just Google uh, Cold Stone. Wait, public typing. I hate it. So we just Googled Cold Stone. Ignore my extensions here. Those shouldn't even be there, honestly. But over here on the right, this is their Google My Business listing. So we got like a little explanation. This actually looks more like a. This is like their corporate one. Let's find more of like a local one. So like Cold Stone or yeah, this is better. So if you look at this, it has like the website, directions, we've got the map pack, reviews, and then they have all this information here. This is extremely useful for small businesses. So it probably doesn't apply to a lot of you or a lot of us in this room because you're running like e-commerce and things like that. If you don't have a physical location where customers like come to you and like have an experience with your staff and stuff, it doesn't apply to you. But it's really useful for them because it helps with Google with SEO quite a bit. So if like Dan started an ice cream shop and he was like Dan's ice cream in Orem, uh, when people Google that, his website might have really poor SEO, but if he set up Google My Business and put all this information in, and Google will be like, okay, I think I know what this is. I trust. So let's show it to them. It's cool too because it also just creates more screen real estate, right? Like on any page of Google, the more space there is to click on something, the more clicks it will get. So, uh, yeah, especially if you like Cold Stone here has, they rank for all of these items on the SERP. They also have the Google My Business listing. Hayden, did you have a question?
Well, more of like a comment. Like I also think of like with Apple Maps or whatever. When I'm looking for somewhere to like eat or if I want ice cream or whatever, I'll just type it in and then like click enter, and then from like the listings on like my maps, I'll go to their website from there.
Yeah,
So I think even just making sure you have like your location marked down with like links to it is
totally.
super helpful.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, so this is something that I manage for a couple clients, like um, an optometrist, a vision therapist in Washington. I'll show you the back end of what that looks like. Let's see. So, and it's honestly so easy to do. Every local business should be sure to be doing this. And if you guys are helping anybody with their marketing services, make sure that this is something that you just kind of look at and touch up every now and then because it requires so little and does so much. There's not a ton. Man, this takes so long to load. I think it's a combination of projecting and being screen recorded. I don't know. Yeah, yeah, it could just be that too. So, one interesting thing though is that you can actually post on this as well. And that does two things. It gives something interesting for people to like click on. So if you're like, hey, this is like my clothing company and like here's a blog post like how to choose the perfect fall sweater, then people might like stumble upon that and not be thinking about clicking but be like, oh, let's read their blog post. So that's kind of nice. The other thing too is it just signals to Google that you're alive and well, which makes them more likely to trust you. Wow, guys, this is taking so long. I don't know what, or did I not click it? Okay. This is one I made for Quartz Marketing one time, but doesn't really work for marketing businesses for the reasons I explained. And actually, I don't know if it's even technically allowed. I don't know, probably. If it's like, if I put the location as my house, which is technically my office. So this is what I do for Washington Vision Therapy Center. Just kind of check this out, like see how the performance is doing. It gives you some interesting analytics about how many views and searches they're getting. Here you can also reply to the reviews, which is kind of good. It seems a little silly to me because it doesn't seem like that many people look at the review or the replies, but um, if the company does, it's good for them to reply because it shows Google that you care and stuff like that, and it just helps you get higher reviews. So this company's doing really well with that. And then if you post pictures, if customers post pictures or if you post pictures, they get some decent views. Like, I hate that this yucky picture has got 6.35 thousand views. Jake?
They say that people actually do leave replies quite a bit. My dad owns a gas station, and because of like drug use and stuff, he goes down the restrooms,
Yeah.
and so he gets lots of nasty reviews.
Oh, no.
Well, he gets lots of nice reviews too. But
Yeah.
he responds to all of them.
Yeah.
And people come in like twice a week and say, "We spent the last hour like reading the reviews, like your responses." Just laughing in my car.
Really?
So, yeah, like, it's become like a major facet of what he does. So people
I love
do
it.
get the replies.
Okay.
And if you make
Yeah.
that funny, people really enjoy that.
Okay, I like that. It's a nice little tip. Yeah, so on the side here, you can make a post. So this is what I posted on September 1st. I posted like this infographic I found, and I was like, how much better off is a student who reads for 20 minutes a day versus a student who only reads 5 minutes a day? So it's got 57 views. No clicks, but it looks nice on the side, and it's been helping them get more Google searches, I think. And then there's places for you to interact with users and stuff like that. So definitely get this set up if it qualifies for your business. You can also add products and events. Make sure your hours and everything are correct. Yeah. Any other questions about that? Okay. So here's your assignment. It'll take like 1 minute. We'll do this next class, but everybody between now and Wednesday needs to leave a review for somebody else. And it actually doesn't have to be Google My Business. Last thing I'll talk about is that these reviews also help with SEO. Google actually reads these for keywords. So, like for example, if I search on Google Maps for like where to get veneers for my teeth, the company might not have that like on their website really quick. Google might not know, but if they read these and someone is like, I love this company, they helped me with my veneers and they look great, then Google can find them. So if you do this for yourself or for clients, I mean, you don't have that much control over how people review, but if you can get good keywords in there, it's awesome. And I bet that applies to replies as well. So you guys all need to leave a review. It can be on like the App Store, it can be on Amazon, it can be on Google My Business. All these sites kind of work the same. Reviews have to do with search engines. So put one in and it'll be kind of fun because next class we'll share what we reviewed. Okay. So give something 5 stars, give it 1, give it 3, write a little thing out about why. And now you know how this works with SEO. So by the way, have you guys seen some of the funny reviews that people leave, like for the Pacific Ocean?
Or the bike racks on campus.
Oh, I haven't seen that. Just like on Google.
Yeah,
On
you can
Google?
look it up. I'll look this up.
Brad, thanks for that.
Yeah.
Can we do a review for like that you submit directly to the company? Like say you just got a package and they ask for a review about your experience or something like that. Does that count?
Nah. Let's do something that's like publicly. Let's do something that's like publicly seen, because if it's just internal, then if the company's like, tell us how we did, they're not gonna like publish it and be like, Gabby gave us 1 star. So
Yeah, you can look up the Talmadge Building bike rack.
okay, let's do that.
There's like 231 reviews.
No way.
You gotta scroll down.
Okay. Oh, this is the pits. Okay, well, I can read it here. So, review of the Pacific Ocean. Hated it. Asked it for some good surfing wave and had to wait 2 hours. Service is terrible. I feel like the smell was shaming my nature spirit. In fact, my Charizard dragon spirit told me that he hated it. Too much salt. Listen, if you're going to make an ocean, make it properly. And this review says, oh, wait, no. Okay, let's find that. Let's do that one. Google Maps. Talmadge Building, is that what it's called?
The Talmadge Building bike rack.
Okay. Yeah, good idea. Talmadge Building bike rack, 230 Google reviews.
Bike racks are using Google Maps.
No.
Said even bike racks are using Google Maps.
That's amazing. The facilities and staff located at the bike rack was amazing. Cold water, no gum, and no lines.
Like 5 years ago, it's
Following this for a while.
Yeah. Hayden's like, this is my favorite show.
like, I want everyone to leave a review on this bike rack for a project or something.
Well, plan to meet my wife here. Want to steal it. What in the world?
There's one that like talks about the entire first vision. The bike rack.
These mattresses are unforgiving, very hard, and presumably made of metal. I needed a safe place to sleep and was told and was referred to a man who referred to himself as the Jello Whisperer, that I would have no issue sleeping here amongst BYU. That's awesome. Okay, so everybody leave a review. Yeah, of the bike rack. Specifically, talk about your experience. It's nice too because having real reviews, I feel like it just kind of helps everybody. There's so many companies that have fake reviews for good and for bad. Like, it's actually a huge problem that competitors of different companies will go and like give all of their competitors 1 star. So, and other companies will just pay like 100 people to give them 5 stars. So actually having real reviews helps Google, but I think it also helps other people. All right, let's learn about Google Ads. So here's some Google Ad fundamentals. Here's just like the basics you need to know. So advertisers bid for certain keywords so that their ad shows up when someone makes that query. We've kind of covered this with SEO, but there's certain keywords everybody wants and there's certain keywords that people don't really care about. certain keywords have more competition than others, so they're more expensive. And then also keep in mind, as with all of these, just remember the motivation of the companies that are making it happen, because that's the key to learning how to win. Google actually wants you to win at Google Ads, because if you win, then you spend more money with them. So I used to think like, well, I was Google, because they don't give you very clear information about like why keywords are so expensive. Some of them are. So I'd be like, oh, I bet Google is just like jacking up the price so that people will have to bid so much for this keyword. And maybe they are, but I actually think it would be smarter for them to try and make the price as low as possible, because then you have a better experience. You want to spend more, it just advertises them more. So keep that in mind. So here's the basic setup. And it's kind of confusing, so pay attention. We'll look at this in a second. So inside of a Google Ads account, there are campaigns. And inside of campaigns, there are ad groups. And inside of ad groups, there are keywords and ads. Okay? So just keep in mind that juncture. Let's look at it. Let's look at one of my museums. If we can pull it off, I think it'd be really cool to add you guys to some of my museum accounts and have you build ad groups. I'm going to try to figure that out, but stay tuned. This is me trying to convince Google that the Disney Museum is Disney. Google is like, you can't say Disney, it's trademarked. And I'm like, this is Disney. All right. So let's go back here. So this is for the Degas House in New Orleans. So you can see that in the last 30 days, they've got 2.7 thousand clicks, 54.7 thousand impressions, click-through rate of 4.95. We'll go over these in just a second. So cost per click is 180. So here's the setup then. On the left here, these are the campaigns. So if we click on one of them, so click on B&B because they're a museum and they're also a bed and breakfast. Kind of cool. So, and then here's the ad groups inside of that. One of the ad groups I created was like romantic places to stay, stuff like that. So this is the performance of just this ad group. Has 857 clicks, 13,000 impressions. So this is a pretty good ad group. Down here you can see some of the keywords that it's capturing.
What is this impression person?
Yeah, let's go over that vocabulary right now. I was going to do that in a second, but okay, so and we'll talk about campaign, ad group, ad keyword. Ad spend is just the amount of money that you spend on ads. So whenever someone's like, hey, can you help me with my Google ads? What's one of the first questions? Like, okay, like what's the ad spend that you're probably using? Because some people want to use like $10 a day. Other people are using like $300 or even like $1,000 a day. And that determines a lot of like how much work goes into the account. An impression is just anyone who sees the ad. And then a conversion is someone who sees the ad and then buys the product or fills out a form. you can tell Google what you want to be the conversion. So even if your conversion is like someone who visits this page on my website, that's a conversion. But just understand that the conversion is like the goal that you want the users to do when they click on the ad. And I'll show this in a second, but an ad extension is just like a widget on the ad that makes it more clickable. And a negative keyword is a specific keyword that you don't want to show up for. So, for example, like with the Degas house, one of the keywords that I had put in was like New Orleans Hotel. And the Degas house is showing up for this query, Orleans Hotel. Like, it was one of the biggest keywords. So many people were searching for that and then clicking the ad, and I was like, oh, this is awesome, but that's like so random. Like, why are so many people searching Orleans Hotel? And then I looked into it, and I guess that's a hotel in Vegas or something. And so people were looking for this hotel in Vegas, but then accidentally coming to the Degas house website. Hopefully accidentally coming to the Degas house. They're like, oh, New Orleans, Las Vegas, just signed up for the wrong city. But I don't think they were. And that was reflected in the ad because a lot of people were clicking on the ad and then leaving. So I put that in as a negative keyword to tell Google, like, anytime someone searches for Orleans Hotel, that's not for us. And we don't want to pay for those clicks. Yeah, Eric?
I think that's super important. I wasted plenty of money on Google Ads for random keywords and like actually but other things.
Yeah, it's a thing. So this isn't on here, but another important thing to know about Google, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, YouTube, you pay per impression. So every time someone sees the ad, you pay like a cent or two. Google doesn't charge you per impression, they charge you per click, which is kind of interesting. So if 1,000 people see your ad but nobody clicks on it, you don't have to pay for it. Yeah, kind of nice, right? But every time someone does click on it, and depending on the bid price, then you do have to pay. So, and the other thing though too is that I used to think that meant like, oh, I'll just like you can just put Google ads anywhere, and if people only pay when they click, then like the price will always balance out. But not really, because Google actually charges you more if people don't like your website, if they don't like your ad, if they're coming and then leaving and stuff like that. So just be aware that there's that difference in the pricing structure. Okay, here's some more vocab. So CPC, cost per click. How much you have to pay for someone to come to your landing page, basically. CTR, choose the right. No, once you get into marketing, I can only see that as click-through rate now. So it's what percent of people who see the ad end up clicking on it. It's clicks divided by impressions. So if you get 1,000 impressions and 100 people click on it, you have a 10% CTR. ROAS, this is like the most important number for online advertisers. It's return on ad spend. So, and it works like a percent. It's just a number, but it works like a percent. So 1 ROAS means you got 100% return on your ad spend. A 2 ROAS means that for every dollar you paid on ads, you got $2 out of it.
So that 100% will mean like you put as much money as you make.
Yeah, you broke even, basically. So, yeah, and that's a good observation. So a lot of the time when you start out advertising for somebody, because the ads aren't optimized and you're still figuring things out, you start at like a 0.7 ROAS or whatever. And then as time goes on, it just goes up and up. So really important number to watch. And then CPM, it's kind of confusing because it looks like it should be cost per million, but it's actually cost per mil. So how much it costs to show your ad to 1,000 people. And that helps because different groups of people have different CPMs. So for example, if you tell Google, I only want to show to people who are like in the top bracket of income earning, are they going to have a higher CPM or a lower CPM than everyone else? Higher. Why? Yeah, because they're more likely to buy, probably, right? So let's go back to the account now that you know this. So these are the stats for just this ad group. 857 clicks, 13,000 impressions. Average cost per click is 1.84 or $1.84. And then the total cost in the last 30 days has been $1.6 thousand.
I have a question.
Yeah,
How much money did they make from having that ad? Like, was it worth it?
good question. So museums are kind of tricky because people kind of see the ads and they click on the ads and they come to the website, but there's no incentive for them to buy tickets online, and a lot of the time they don't. So I don't really bother with conversion tracking for museums, but if you were selling a product, it's like the first thing you've got to do, because you have to know, like, of these 857 people who clicked, like how many ended up buying. Yeah, Camille?
So they're in like the grant you have, so are they technically paying or no?
Good question. No.
And so how do you make sure is it like cap out at like 10,000? That's what you have normally, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then, or if you go over to like then you get more points. I don't know.
No, you don't have to pay more if you go over that. I think that your ads just stop showing.
Okay.
So, yeah. So I'll tell you guys this story. So yeah, a few years ago, when I was taking my first digital marketing class, before I even knew what marketing was, and I still thought marketing was like how to choose a billboard, and I was like, that's the boringest thing ever, and stuff like that. William Arnett showed us Google Ads, and he told us about the Google Ads grant, and I was like just blown away by it. So essentially, the Google Ads grant is $10,000 for any nonprofit, almost. So it doesn't apply for schools, healthcare institutions, or government entities, but all other 501c3 tax structure organizations, so museums, theaters, most event venues, and then just standard nonprofits that you've probably heard of, like Life Water and just other companies like that are nonprofits. So Google's actually really liberal with this. They are really kind with it. I think that they use it as a tax write-off. So they can, rather than paying $10,000 in taxes, they can be like, look, we basically paid $10,000 to this person to have free ads. So well played, Google. But yeah, it's just a really powerful system. And my teacher was always like telling us how he was doing it for theaters and saying, hey, you could do this for museums or these other organizations. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. So I kind of just went for it. I started calling up museums. I ran Facebook ads to find them. I'll show you guys like the first ads that I ran, because they actually did pretty well, just collecting information from museums. Yeah, and like Camille was saying, the $10,000 comes out of Google's pocket and not yours, so it's pretty awesome. The only catch with this, just so you guys know, because you might be like, oh, well, I should like start as a nonprofit, or like I should run a nonprofit, or like run my company as a nonprofit. It can be good, but just be aware that it's a different structure. Like if you really want to make money and like have a good payout, it can't really be a nonprofit. Nonprofits have boards. Like a board of trustees has to approve like every cost, all the revenue, like everybody knows how much everything costs in a nonprofit because of this. So for example, the Degas house, sometimes Kat is like, when David retires, we should just like think about like buying the Degas house. That'd be so awesome because we really like it. But like with a nonprofit, you can't buy it though. You know, it belongs to the board. There's no sellout, so just be aware that that works that way. You can't build a nonprofit that's like makes $10 million and then sell it to somebody else because it doesn't actually belong to you. In fact, if you're a nonprofit, you're probably the CEO, and the board and everybody has like decided how much money you make per year. So just be aware of that tax structure. And it works. It's good for nonprofits because it helps people feel more comfortable working with them, knowing that they have to disclose their finances and stuff like that. Yeah. I think so back to the Degas house. Oh, I gotta plug in my Mac. Oh my gosh, I just closed it. I use Trello to keep track of incoming clients. I guess I'll show you this while it's loading. So like these are museums that I'm in talks with. I used to have it more organized, but Trello is an awesome tool, you guys. You can like create different lists. So I could be like, make this column like museums that are progressing and like have a call next week and stuff like that and just organize them. I need to do that with this list. So now that we have clicked on the ad group, let's go to keywords. So search keywords. These are the keywords I've put in. When I originally did this, I didn't know Google Ads very well, and I kind of did it wrong because in an ad group, you should usually only have like 20 keywords. You want to have them closely related. So, because you want the ad to have similar text to the keyword and similar text to the original query. So like romantic weekend, romantic hotels, these are pretty close. So I'm glad that it's at least doing that well, but I'll show you what I mean in a second. If we go across here though, I don't know if you can see this. You can see how each one of these keywords is doing and how much we're paying. So for this keyword, romantic weekend, it's getting 141 clicks. It cost $264 in the last month. 3 out of 10 quality score. That's not great. Probably should work on that. And so you kind of go down the list and you can see CTR. This is interesting though. So this keyword, only 6% of impressions end up clicking on the ad. Whereas like with this keyword, 8% of people end up clicking on the ad. So that means that Google's giving me a better rate on this ad, and it's just better all around. It costs less and stuff like that. So we have all these keywords here. Now let's look at ads. So for this ad group, it looks like this is our top ad. So, oh, it's a responsive search ad. Well, let's look at it. So, romantic. So here's the headlines. Top 5 best B&Bs in New Orleans. Perfect B&B for couples. Charming Edgar Degas house. Our rooms are both elegant and comfortable. Guests love our staff. And our food and official French landmarks. So I just put in all this information, and then Google takes these different headlines and tests them out to see which ones perform the best. The ones that perform well, they show to more people. The ones that respond, what am I even trying to say? The ones that perform worse, they don't show as often. And all of these are related to the ad group. So now that you have seen this, let's just go to the slide again. So that's how this is built. Do you get it? So the campaign was bed and breakfast. The ad group was romantic getaways. And then inside of the ad group, there are multiple ads and multiple keywords. Does that make sense, that structure? Okay, cool. All right, so let me show you one more thing, and then we're going to do a class activity so that you guys can review some other stuff we've learned. We'll be going more into depth with Google Ads next time. So there's this really helpful tool that Google has. Like we talked about, they're incentivized to help you succeed, right? So if you can just Google this, but if you're in a Google Ads account, you can go to Keyword Planner. So what we're gonna do in a second here is you guys will use Exploding Topics and Alibaba to find like a trending new product that you could potentially work with. Just really quick, you'll just find something, and then you'll use Google Keyword Planner to see how the cost per click and see if it adds up to the prices that you would need, and you can do all of that math. So it's basically a useful extension of the Sherlock Holmes method. So discover new keywords. Well, yeah, let me just show you basically. Let's just go through the assignment as if I were doing it. So first, I go to Exploding Topics. Let's see. Do you guys remember this stuff okay? Okay, good. So just kind of scroll down here until I find one that I am interested in. TikTok ads. This is interesting. Look, this one has peaked. So it's still on here, but it looks like they're predicting that it's not going to continue growing. Vitamin C serum. Serum applied to the skin claimed to reduce the appearance of wrinkles. Interesting. Okay. Well, let's see what our friends at Alibaba can tell us about this. Here it is. So for $2.40 to $3.50 per piece and a minimum order quantity of 100 pieces, you can buy this vitamin C serum. Okay, now we have that information. So let's go to Google Keyword Planner. Vitamin. What's that? So what you guys will do to get here is just Google Keyword Planner, and then they have you like sign up really quick, but just it takes like 1 second. It's just like your email or something. So choose the right keywords with our research tools. So that's how you'll get to it. What, Zach? Oh, okay. I just saw a question in your eyes. So now go to the Keyword Planner. Okay, vitamin C serum. Maybe I'll also put in like eliminate wrinkles or like anti-wrinkle. Anti-wrinkle lotion, anti-wrinkle supplements. What would you guys say? Serum. I guess serum. That could work. Magic. Okay, and then you press get results. Check that out. Google just tells you this is how many people are searching for it. So vitamin C serum, 90,500 people are searching for it. The top of page bid on the low range is $1.14. So the lowest bid for let's just say the lowest bid is $1.14. The highest bid is $4.47. So that's actually pretty pricey. Interesting. But you can kind of go down here and see some other options because maybe that one is too expensive, but like best vitamin C serum. If you have like an awesome blog and you like talk about your own serum and other people and like what makes it good, this keyword is significantly cheaper than that one. You see that? The low is 78 cents and the high is $3.57. So maybe you could push them to that blog page instead. But you can kind of go down the list. So basically choose one of these. Let me get out my marker really quick. Oh, anti-aging stimulants. Wow, look how expensive that one is though. The low is $1.59, the high is $5. So let's just do vitamin C serum. I don't know if you guys remember this, but let's do the Sherlock Holmes formula. So what we're gonna do is let's take the average of those two costs per clicks. So 114 plus 447 divided by 2. So it looks like the average cost per click is $2.80. So let's take the Sherlock Holmes method here. I put a little review for you guys too. So average conversion profit, let's solve for that. So average conversion profit times the conversion rate. So do that for a 1% conversion rate on your website and also do that for a 2% conversion rate on your website. If you remember, an average landing page, that's pretty normal. It can be quite a bit out of that range, but consider that kind of the bell curve. So 1% conversion rate on the landing page or 2, and then the cost per click that I found was $2.80. So that means that my average conversion profit for 1% means that I would need, is that 280? Okay. Dang, that's crazy. I'd have to make $280 per conversion in order for that cost per click to make sense. I'm trying to not block him. I'm just like. Okay, and then if I have a 2% conversion rate on my landing page, I can do the math, but I also just know it's half of this. So that means that my average conversion profit would need to be $140. So pretty pricey. I'd probably, if we go to Alibaba, what were they charging? It was like $3 basically. Oh, here it is. Okay, so like $3 per piece. How could we do it? So maybe I sell a kit of like 100 of these. So I sell, I don't know, who needs 100 though? Someone's like, I'm not getting wrinkles.
They would really. Maybe you could mix like different products.
Yeah.
Like they all fit.
Yeah, that could work. But realistically, if I wanted because this price assumes that it cost me zero to get the product. So basically, whatever this costs, I have to add to this. So if I'm just selling one bottle, then cool. Like my break even is probably $3 with that, and it's probably like $3 in shipping per unit or something like that. So a $6, so like 146 is like my break even cost with Google Ads. But that's not the best way to structure it. I'd probably do like a package deal. Like spend $500 and get like a whole anti-aging kit, and there's like all this other stuff, and that would give me a better margin. But
So basically, trying to sell these like through Google Ads is just like a terrible idea. Just
probably, I don't know. Well, let's check it out. Let's see how other companies are doing this, because it is a really high cost per
or
click.
at least with that keyword, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a terrible idea because you're not going to make $140.
Right. Yeah. So vitamin C serum, keep your skin healthy. Let's just charge them $3.
So if you click on it, then go back and then again, does that feel like
Only the first 2 times.
Yeah.
okay?
But still,
I
yeah.
have to like a private tab and then click on it.
You could beat it.
Yeah.
I think Google's smart enough because Google knows what you're doing, even if it doesn't save you.
If you don't know what you mean.
Yeah. There's something called click fraud, which is basically that. Like malignant characters just charging you. And Google has some tools so you can like figure out if people are doing that to you. But yeah, it's definitely a thing. It's kind of a problem. Luckily for most small companies like you guys and us are working with, it's not as much of a problem, but okay, so this company, here's their description, here's their picture. Top sellers with vitamin C. Okay, so they're selling it for like $42, $22. So I guess they probably have some kind of package, or they're counting on you coming back again later.
If you like the product,
Right.
They also sell a lot of other drinks, so I feel like you end up buying them.
Yeah, I bet you're right.
So,
Yeah. It's an interesting question though. I mean, some of these are really expensive though. Like look at this one. This one costs $54 to $150.
Well, how much is one of them?
Yeah, that's a good question. I know it only has like 4-star reviews. So, but having this information, this is like the information you need. Like, okay, vitamin C serum is really popular, but I probably don't want to try to use it for Google Ads. But you could probably remember that Google Ads is one of the more expensive platforms. You can probably get a lot better prices with Facebook ads, or Pinterest or YouTube ads or TikTok ads. There's so many other avenues. This is just for Google Ads. So 15 minutes left in class. So let's have you guys all do this.
When I was trying to do it, they asked me for like a website, and then they asked me to create a.
Yeah, I'm trying to create a whole app.
Really? Because that's weird.
I think that was good. I just had to like sign in.
Let's see.
Your own have an ad campaign on it already.
Yeah, I used it like a couple of weeks ago and I haven't done it in a long time. I haven't verified it. Actually,
There's a way you can bypass it. You just have to go to expert mode, and then press the table code that says continue with Google Ads without the campaign.
Oh, really? Okay. 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 Here's like my trillions of Google accounts. Guys, I have like 60 of these. It's just ridiculous. Let's just sign in with Kat, see if it works, because I know she doesn't have one. Huh. That's weird. I'm in incognito mode. Okay, well, you guys just start. I'm gonna keep working on this. Start looking at exploding topics and Alibaba, and I'll get back to you on this on a second.
OnlyFans.
I could if I really wanted.
Like I know how to. Swiss cheese.
Yeah, guys, it looks like it's letting me sign up. So I just put in like a new email, and then here it's like confirm your business information. I haven't given it a credit card or anything, and then I go to explore keyword planner. Mm-mm. Were you signing up for like a Google Ads account?
Well, I went to Google, like Google Keyword Planner, and this is what it took me to, and then you sign in and create an app.
Weird. Huh. Yeah, let me come out and check that out. So after you guys have found something on exploding topics and you found it on Alibaba, here's the other instructions. So go to Google Keyword Planner and just do that Sherlock's Holmes method that I just showed you. I can put it up here too. So conversion profit times conversion rate. Okay, let's see. So, oh, don't click on the ad though.
Yeah, I think it's the ad that's making it the issue. It's
Oh,
trying to
okay.
make you sign up. You just click on like the actual one.
Oh, is it?
It helps.
Okay. Yeah, so don't click on the ad, you guys. When you Google Keywords Planner, just click on the top organic result. So it's the one that says choose the right keywords.
Oh.
Yeah. What makes sense though, because they make money with ads, right? So they wouldn't be running an ad unless, I mean, I guess they have it.
And then you go to
Wait, go back. Yeah. There should be a new factor. Yeah, keep going back. Yeah. Yeah. And then go to keyword planner. Yeah. What if it's because you already started setting this up?
Yeah. Well, I know this is like.
Right. So they probably saved that you got this far. So try doing like. So when you guys do, sorry this is so difficult. On Keyword Planner, don't put any information in, don't create a new ad, new campaign, just press back if you see that. You should be able to just press submit and get to Keyword Planner that way.
Can I do it right now?
Yeah.
It's like exactly 30 cases.
Okay, cool. What you guys about to
It's like starting stuff.
Yeah, it's a bit sweet to be too.
Oh,
Oh, wait,
what's that?
so you get, you might like it. That's it. Perfect.
Yeah, sounds
I have a question.
Yeah.
So, you guys use software?
Okay. Nice. Yeah, 61 cents to $1.34. I mean, it's all relative, but it's a lot lower than
How do you use it?
it's all relative to how much you can sell it for. And
Well, so like, my question was like,
yeah. Right.
like,
It's have the price here.
just per month,
Maybe, but it just depends like how much money people are spending for. So I think a massage gun goes for like $40 typically. So most companies probably don't want to pay much more than $1.35. If you have a 1% conversion rate on your site, $1.35 is shit. That's really low.
But that's
So
hardest
that's a
of
little
all.
bit. If you like buy a car, if you are about to like use this buy a car from you online or whatever, like you can have a really expensive vehicle. But if it's just like a little massage, you guys want to use it on small that's what it gets about. Just look at it. Good question. I think they use pretty equally across the But yeah, so you guys should do that. So probably on massage and okay. Nice. Right.
That's 7 cents. 7 cents.
Yeah, so basically $20 for massage band. So yeah, just like I did the map on the board there. So you do x times 0.05 equals whatever the average cost per click was.
That was you wrote down.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, do the cost per click divided by the landing page.
Isn't that weird?
On the ads.
Oh, I got it.
So what price is?
Yeah.
Do you have to divide the price?
So that is the conversion price per
So I did.
So you're going into there and then doing that, price of each one, or
Well, usually it's yeah, so I would explain
So guys, when you do the math, so when you find the average cost per click, do the average cost per click divided by 1% or 2%, right? And the number it gives you is this, which is your conversion profit per unit. So I should say, in this case, it's actually break even. So in order to break even on your ads, that's how much money you need to make per unit. You guys can go when you need to go too, by the way. Yeah,
But the nonprofit that I'm gonna reach out to is like I said, they have to be hosted by a school, so